homestead. Today we're going to cover how we make our own laundry soap here on the homestead. A few years back we went to a homeschool convention and we saw a bunch of people who were selling these little packets that were these ready-made packets for you to make your own laundry soap. So we bought one, we took one home, and then we did a little research and realized that we could do it all by ourselves. We found out that the recipe is very simple. It's just Arm & Hammer superwashing soda and borax and then a barred soap. Now, different recipes will call for different things. The most popular one is the Fels Naphtha. That is, you can find that all of this stuff will be where all of your washing detergents and stuff are. One thing I recommend is that when you see this, go ahead and buy it and buy more than one box of it, because a lot of people now are starting to make their own. And some of this will come few and far between. You'll see sometimes you'll find the washing soda but not the borax. Sometimes you'll find the borax but not the washing soda. One thing we've done, instead of always using the Fels Naphtha, is we've decided to use our own soap. We bought just regular Irish Spring, or you can use Dove soap, anything like that, depending on smell, what you're partial to. Our family likes the smell of Irish Spring, and it just happens to be what was in the pantry at the time, so that's what we're going to use today. Another thing, our family has a binder that we put all of our recipes in. Whether it's washing soap, cleaner, something to can, we have a big binder, so I'm going to show you what that looks like over here. And I'm going to use it to refer to for our recipe. The first thing you need to do is we need to bring 4 cups of water to a boil. Right, so we're going to have a pot that we have especially designated just for making soap. One thing that we've run into the problem with before is somebody grabbing the pot that we make our soap in to actually cook in. And we really don't want that, because one, the residue from the soap is going to get on your food, and number 2, the residue from your food can get in your soap, and you don't want that. So what we've done is we make sure that we store this pot in a separate area. We usually actually keep it in the laundry room, and that way it doesn't ever get used in the kitchen. So what we'll do is we're going to take our 4 cups of water, we're going to pour that into our soap making pot, and then we'll turn on the burner and we're going to let that boil, and that should not take long because it's not a whole lot of water. In the meantime, we're going to grate the barred soap. Now, I've already started that, and this is kind of what it's going to look like. Now, you can use a hand mill like we have, or you can use a hand grater, any kind of grater. I would recommend that you do use a separate grater just for this. We actually use this particular mill for food too, but that's only because we can take it, it's stainless steel, we can take it and clean it real good and it's fine, and it's way more efficient for us to grate it this way. Now once this is grated, what you're going to do is once that water comes to a boil, you're going to put this soap, grated soap, into the water, the boiling water. And it's going to help melt that soap down into a type of soapy mixture that you're going to pour into your bucket to make your final mixture. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're making this soap is you don't want to wait until you run out of soap to make this. We are making this the day before we run out of soap, because it takes about 24 hours for it to, I want to say cure, but set's probably a better word for it. It's got to set, because it ends up making a very gelatinous texture. Anybody who's made this and is watching this video just to see what we're doing different knows that when you get this all set up and it sets for a day, it'll kind of be a little bit of there's a firm texture to the very top of it. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to take this off of the food mill real quick. Take this detachable part, and this is of course why we can use this to also use our soap. And then we're going to make sure we've got as much of these little pieces as we can get, because of course you don't want to waste any of it. Now some people will use, like I said, the Fells Naphtha bar. There's supposed to be some extra cleaning properties to it. But most of your washing comes from, the washing power comes from the borax and the washing soda, of course, but mostly the borax because that's more like of a laundry booster. Alright, so our water's boiling. We're going to go ahead and put this in here. And then what's going to happen is it's going to start to melt in there. And what you're going to want to do is make it simmer. Alright. So as you can see, this is starting to melt. You're going to wait till it becomes a soapy mixture.
Melting. I'm melting.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay. And you're going to let it simmer until it all melts down. Alright, now, while that is doing that, we're going to go ahead and measure out what you need for your borax and for your washing soda. Now your washing soda you need a full cup, and for your borax you need a half a cup. Now I'm going to up the borax just a little bit because like I said, we're only using a regular bar of soap. So I want to go ahead and add a little bit more cleaning power to my soap, so we'll add a little bit more borax. Alright, so what you're going to do is, in the meantime, while that's simmering, we're going to put 3 gallons of water in a bucket. Now what we've done is we went and bought a Home Depot bucket that is just for our laundry soap. You can buy these with a lid. I think they're right around $3 to $4 or $5, somewhere around there. You buy it once, and then you don't ever have to worry about it again. It's a pretty healthy, sturdy bucket. And it seems to do us very well as far as storing our soap. Alright, now, definitely keep an eye on this soap because you don't want it to boil as much as you want it to simmer. Let all that soap melt. Now what I've done is I put 3 gallons of water in this bucket. Kind of want it to be hot water. Now again, this is our measuring cup for our laundry soap. When we're actually doing a load of laundry, we use this cup. So what I'm going to do is use this cup to measure the washing soda and the borax. And what it said is we need a cup of washing soda. Now this box is about probably 1.5 years old. So once you start to get to the bottom, you're going to notice that it'll get a little bit, especially if you store it in your laundry room, it might get a little bit hard. Okay, so we're going to measure out a full cup of borax and go ahead, not borax, I'm sorry, a full cup of the washing soda. And we're going to go ahead and put that in our water. And then I told you about 3/4 of a cup of the borax, only because like I said, we're using just a regular soap, not the Fells Naphtha. So I added a little bit more borax to our mixture. Alright, so then what you're going to do is we'll take this and we'll kind of stir it around real good. We'll make sure that all that stuff, now this water, with it being hot, obviously is going to help melt that borax and the washing soda. You can see how it's got a little bit of a sud going to it. Alright, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add this mixture. As you can see, ours is green water. A little bit of soap left in there. But that should melt pretty good. And we might want to let that simmer just a little bit longer. With us using the food mill, you get a couple of those chunks that are a little bit bigger than those shreds. So the better you can shred your soap, the quicker this will melt down into the water. Alright, so then all you do is you take this and you pour that soap mixture in there. Stir it up real good. And then you're just going to put the lid on it and walk away from it. And in 24 hours it should be set and ready to use. And one more thing I wanted to tell you about with the soap is that you can use it with a high efficiency machine. But don't put it in your dispenser because you don't want it to clog up your dispenser. Go ahead and pour it straight onto your clothes. And the other thing is that this is a low sud soap, so you're not going to see a whole lot of bubbles when you put it in. If you have like a front loader and you can see the soap, you're not going to see all the suds that you would normally see, say with Tide or something like that. I hope this has helped you out. For more information on our recipe, you can check us out on our website at www.bigbearhomestead.com. There will be a page on soap making, so you can find that. It'll have all the directions and the recipe. Also, you can check us out on Facebook, give us a like, and follow us on all of the different things that we're doing on our homestead. And finally, you can check us out on YouTube like you found us today. So go ahead and subscribe, and you'll be able to see all the different videos that we've made, and then the ones coming up. We'll have stuff about canning, hopefully this summer, and more on fermenting and making kombucha and stuff like that. So thank you for watching, and have a nice day.